Book of Psalms. 17 His sorrow shall be turned on his own head, and his iniquity shall come down upon his crown. 18 I will give glory to the Lord according to his justice, and will sing to the name of the Lord, the Most High. For the sinner hath provoked the Lord, according to the multitude of his wrath, he will not seek him. 5 God is not before his eyes, his ways are filthy. At all times thy judgments are removed from his sight, he shall rule over all his enemies. 6 For he hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved from generation to generation, and shall be without evil. 7 His mouth is full of cursing, and of bitterness, and of deshet, under his tongue are labor and sorrow. 8 He sitteth in ambush with the rich, in private places, that he may kill the innocent. 9 His eyes are upon the poor man, he lieth in wait, in secret, like a lion in his den. He lieth in ambush, that he may catch the poor man, so catch the poor, whilst he draweth him to him. 15 Break thou the arm of the sinner and of the malignant, his sin shall be sought, and shall not be found. 17 The Lord hath heard the desire of the poor, thy ear hath heard the preparation of their heart. 18 To judge for the fatherless and for the humble, that man may no more presume to magnify himself upon earth. 2 In the Lord I put my trust, how then do you say to my soul, get thee away from hence to the mountain, like a sparrow. Chapter 14. A Psalm for David. Lord, who shall dwell in thy tabernacle? Or who shall rest in thy holy hill? 2 He that walketh without blemish, and worketh justice. 3 He that speaketh truth in his heart, who hath not used deceit in his tongue, nor hath done evil to his neighbor, nor taken up a reproach against his neighbors. 4 In his sight the malignant is brought to nothing, but he glorifieth them that fear the Lord. He that sweareth to his neighbor, and deceiveth not. 5 He that hath not put out his money to usury, nor taken bribes against the innocent, he that doth these things, shall not be moved for ever. 3 The Lord is my firmament, my refuge, and my deliverer. My God is my helper, and in him will I put my trust. My protector, and the horn of my salvation, and my support. 21 And the Lord will reward me according to my justice, and will repay me according to the cleanness of my hands. 22 Because I have kept the ways of the Lord, and have not done wickedly against my God. 11 The rich have wanted, and have suffered hunger, but they that seek the Lord shall not be deprived of any good. 17 For the arms of the wicked shall be broken in pieces, but the Lord strengtheneth the just. 38 But the unjust shall be destroyed together, the remnants of the wicked shall perish. 39 But the salvation of the just is from the Lord, and he is their protector in the time of trouble. 40 And the Lord will help them and deliver them, and he will rescue them from the wicked, and save them because they have hoped in him. 6 Behold, thou hast made my days measurable, and my substance is as nothing before thee. And indeed all things are vanity, every man living. 7 Surely man passeth as an image, yea, and he is disquieted in vain. He storeth up, and he knoweth not for whom he shall gather these things. 8 And now what is my hope? Is it not the Lord? And my substance is with thee. 9 Deliver thou me from all my iniquities, thou hast made me a reproach to the fool. 10 I was dumb, and I opened not my mouth, because thou hast done it. 11 Remove thy scourges from me. The strength of thy hand hath made me faint in rebukes. 12 Thou hast corrected man for iniquity, and thou hast made his soul to waste away like a spider, surely in vain is any man disquieted. 22 Understand these things, you that forget God, lest he snatch you away, and there be none to deliver you. 23 The sacrifice of praise shall glorify me, and there is the way by which I will shew him the salvation of God. 3 Why dost thou glory in malice, thou that art mighty in iniquity? For all the day long thy tongue hath devised injustice, as a sharp razor, thou hast wrought deceit. 5 Thou hast loved malice more than goodness, and iniquity rather than to speak righteousness. 6 Thou hast loved all the words of ruin, O deceitful tongue. 7 Therefore will God destroy thee forever, he will pluck thee out, and remove thee from thy dwelling place, and thy root out of the land of the living. 8 The just shall see and fear, and shall laugh. at him, and say. 9 Behold the man that made not God his helper, but trusted in the abundance of his riches, and prevailed in his vanity. 10 But I, as a fruitful olive tree in the house of God, have hoped in the mercy of God forever. Yet forever and ever. 11 I will praise thee forever, because thou hast done it, and I will wait on thy name, for it is good in the sight of thy saints. 23 Cast thy care upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee, he shall not suffer the just to waver forever. 24 But thou, O God, shalt bring them down into the pit of destruction. Bloody and deceitful. Men shall not live out half their days, but I will trust in thee, O Lord. 17 But I will sing thy strength, and will extol thy mercy in the morning. For thou art become my support, and my refuge, in the day of my trouble. 18 Unto thee, O my helper, will I sing, for thou art God my defense, my God my mercy. 20 Blessed be the Lord day by day, the God of our salvation will make our journey prosperous to us. 21 Our God is the God of salvation, and of the Lord are the issues from death. 22 But God shall break the heads of his enemies, the hairy crown of them that walk on in their sins. 14 But as for me, my prayer is to thee, O Lord. For the time of thy good pleasure, O God. In the multitude of thy mercy hear me, in the truth of thy salvation. 15 Draw me out of the mire, that I may not stick fast, deliver me from them that hate me, and out of the deep waters. 16 Let not the tempest of water drown me, nor the deep waters swallow me up, and let not the pit shut her mouth upon me. 20 How great troubles hast thou shown me, many and grievous, and turning thou hast brought me to life, and hast brought me back again from the depths of the earth. 21 Thou hast multiplied thy magnificence, and turning to me thou hast comforted me. 9 Help us, O God, our Saviour, and for the glory of thy name, O Lord, deliver us, and forgive us our sins for thy name's sake. 10 Lest they should say among the Gentiles, where is their God? And let him be made known among the nations before our eyes, by the revenging the blood of thy servants, which hath been shed. 11 Let the sighing of the prisoners come in before thee. According to the greatness of thy arm, take possession of the children of them that have been put to death. 12 And render to our neighbors sevenfold in their bosom, the reproach wherewith they have reproached thee, O Lord. 13 But we thy people, and the sheep of thy pasture, will give thanks to thee forever. We will shew forth thy praise, unto generation and generation. 9 I will hear what the Lord God will speak in me, for he will speak peace unto his people, and unto his saints, and unto them that are converted to the heart. 10 Surely his salvation is near to them that fear him, that glory may dwell in our land. 11 Mercy and truth have met each other, justice and peace have kissed. 12 Truth is sprung out of the earth, and justice hath looked down from heaven. 13 For the Lord will give goodness, and our earth shall yield her fruit. 14 Justice shall walk before him, and shall set his steps in the way. Chapter 90 The praise of a canticle for David. He that dwelleth in the aid of the Most High, shall abide under the protection of the God of Jacob. 2 He shall say to the Lord, Thou art my protector, and my refuge, my God, in him will I trust. 3 For he hath delivered me from the snare of the hunters, and from the sharp word. 4 He will overshadow thee with his shoulders, and under his wings thou shalt trust. 5 His truth shall compass thee with a shield. Thou shalt not be afraid of the terror of the night. 6 Of the arrow that flieth in the day, of the business that walketh about in the dark, of invasion, or of the noonday devil. 7 8,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. 8 But thou shalt consider with thy eyes, and shalt see the reward of the wicked. 9 Because thou, O Lord, art my hope, thou hast made the Most High thy refuge. 10 There shall no evil come to thee, nor shall the scourge come near thy dwelling. 11 For he hath given his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. 12 In their hands they shall bear thee up, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. 13 Thou shalt walk upon the asp and the basilisk, and thou shalt trample under foot the lion and the dragon. 14 Because he hoped in me I will deliver him. I will protect him because he hath known my name. 15 He shall cry to me, and I will hear him, I am with him in tribulation, I will deliver him, and I will glorify him. 16 I will fill him with length of days, and I will shew him my salvation. 21 They will hunt after the soul of the just, and will condemn innocent blood. 22 But the Lord is my refuge, and my God, the help of my hope. 23 And he will render them their iniquity, and in their malice he will destroy them, the Lord our God will destroy them. Chapter 100. A Psalm for David himself. Mercy and judgment. I will sing to thee, O Lord, I will sing. 2 And I will understand in the unspotted way, when thou shalt come to me. I walked in the innocence of my heart, in the midst of my house. 3 I will not set before my eyes any unjust thing, I hated the workers of iniquities. 4 The perverse heart did not cleave to me, and the malignant, that turned aside from me, I would not know. 5 The man that in private detracted his neighbor, him did I persecute. With him that had a proud eye, and an unsatiable heart, I would not eat. 6 My eyes were upon the faithful of the earth. To sit with me, the man that walked in the perfect way, he served me. 7 He that worketh pride shall not dwell in the midst of my house, he that speaketh unjust things did not prosper before my eyes. 8 In the morning I put to death all the wicked of the land, that I might cut off all the workers of iniquity from the city of the Lord. Chapter 102. For David himself. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and let all that is within me bless his holy name. 2 Bless the Lord, O my soul, and never forget all he hath done for thee. 3 Who forgiveth all thy iniquities, who healeth all thy diseases. 4 Who redeemeth thy life from destruction, who crowneth thee with mercy and compassion. 5 Who satisfieth thy desire with good things, thy youth shall be renewed like the eagles. 6 The Lord doth mercies, and judgment for all that suffer wrong. 8 The Lord is compassionate and merciful, long-suffering and plenteous in mercy. 9 He will not always be angry, nor will he threaten forever. 10 He hath not dealt with us according to our sins, nor rewarded us according to our iniquities. 11 For according to the height of the heaven above the earth, he hath strengthened his mercy towards them that fear him. 12 As far as the east is from the west, so far hath he removed our iniquities from us. 13 As a father hath compassion on his children, so hath the Lord compassion on them that fear him. 14 For he knoweth our frame, he remembereth that we are dust. 15 Man's days are as grass, as the flower of the field so shall he flourish. 16 For the Spirit shall pass in him, and he shall not be, and he shall know his place no more. 17 But the mercy of the Lord is from eternity, and unto eternity upon them that fear him, and his justice unto children's children. 18 To such as keep his covenant, and are mindful of his commandments to do them. 19 The Lord hath prepared his throne in heaven, and his kingdom shall rule over all. 20 Bless the Lord, all ye his angels, you that are mighty in strength, and execute his word. Hearkening to the voice of his orders. 21 Bless the Lord, all ye his hosts, you ministers of his that do his will. 22 Bless the Lord, all his works, in every place of his dominion, O my soul, bless thou the Lord. 10 Moab the pot of my hope. Over Edom I will stretch out my shoe, the aliens are become my friends. 11 Who will bring me into the strong city? Who will lead me into Edom? 12 Wilt not thou, O God, who hast cast us off? And wilt not thou, O God, go forth with our armies? 13 O grant us help from trouble, for vain is the help of man. 14 Through God we shall do mightily, and he will bring our enemies to nothing. Chapter 108. Unto the end, a psalm for David. 2 O God, be not thou silent in my praise, for the mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful man is opened against me. 3 They have spoken against me with deceitful tongues, and they have compassed me about with words of hatred, and have fought against me without cause. 4 Instead of making me a return of love, they detracted me, but I gave myself to prayer. 5 And they repaid me evil for good, and hatred for my love. 6 Set thou the sinner over him, and may the devil stand at his right hand. Not to us, O Lord, not to us, but to thy name give glory. 2 For thy mercy, and for thy truth's sake, lest the Gentiles should say, Where is their God? 3 But our God is in heaven, he hath done all things whatsoever he would. For the idols of the Gentiles are silver and gold, the works of the hands of men. 5 They have mouths and speak not, they have eyes and see not. 6 They have ears and hear not, they have noses and smell not. 7 They have hands and feel not, they have feet and walk not, neither shall they cry out through their throat. 8 Let them that make them become like unto them, and all such as trust in them. 11 They that fear the Lord have hoped in the Lord, he is their helper and their protector. May 14th The Lord add blessings upon you, and upon your children. 15 Blessed be you of the Lord, who made heaven and earth. 16 The heaven of heaven is the Lord's, but the earth he has given to the children of men. 17 The dead shall not praise thee, O Lord, nor any of them that go down to hell. 18 But we that live bless the Lord, from this time now and forever. 11 I said in my excess, every man is a liar. 12 What shall I render to the Lord, for all the things that he hath rendered to me? 13 I will take the chalice of salvation, and I will call upon the name of the Lord. 7 The Lord is my helper, and I will look over my enemies. 8 It is good to confide in the Lord, rather than to have confidence in man. 9 It is good to trust in the Lord, rather than to trust in princes. 14 The Lord is my strength and my praise, and he is become my salvation. 28 Thou art my God, and I will praise thee. Thou art my God, and I will exalt thee. I will praise thee, because thou hast heard me, and art become my salvation. 29 O praise ye the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy endureth forever. 125 I am thy servant, give me understanding, that I may know thy testimonies. 126 It is time, O Lord, to do, they have dissipated thy law. 127 Therefore have I loved thy commandments above gold and the topaz. 128 Therefore was I directed to all thy commandments, I have hated all wicked ways. 129 Thy testimonies are wonderful, therefore my soul hath sought them. 3 The wicked have wrought upon my back, they have lengthened their iniquity. For the Lord who is just will cut the necks of sinners. 11 The Lord hath sworn truth to David, and he will not make it void, of the fruit of thy womb I will set upon thy throne. 12 If thy children will keep my covenant, and these my testimonies which I shall teach them, their children also forevermore shall sit upon thy throne. Book of Proverbs. 7 The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. 32 The turning away of little ones shall kill them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. 33 But he that shall hear me, shall rest without terror, and shall enjoy abundance, without fear of evils. Chapter 2 My son, if thou wilt receive my words, and wilt hide my commandments with thee. 2 That thy ear may hearken to wisdom, incline thy heart to know prudence. 3 For if thou shalt call for wisdom, and incline thy heart to prudence. 4 If thou shalt seek her as money, and shalt dig for her as for a treasure. 5 Then shalt thou understand the fear of the Lord, and shalt find the knowledge of God. 6 Because the Lord giveth wisdom, and out of his mouth cometh prudence and knowledge. 7 He will keep the salvation of the righteous, and protect them that walk in simplicity. 8 Keeping the paths of justice, and guarding the ways of saints. 9 Then shalt thou understand justice, and judgment, and equity, and every good path. 10 If wisdom shall enter into thy heart, and knowledge please thy soul. 11 Counsel shall keep thee, and prudence shall preserve thee. 12 That thou mayst be delivered from the evil way, and from the man that speaketh perverse things. 13 Who leave the right way, and walk by dark ways. 14 Who are glad when they have done evil, and rejoice in the most wicked things. 15 Whose ways are perverse, and their steps infamous. 16 That thou mayst be delivered from the strange woman, and from the stranger, who softeneth her words. 17 And forsake the guide of her youth. 18 And hath forgotten the covenant of her God, for her house inclineth unto death, and her paths to hell. 19 None that go in unto her, shall return again, neither shall they take hold of the paths of life. 20 That thou mayst walk in a good way, and mayst keep the paths of the just. 21 For they that are upright, shall dwell in the earth, and the simple shall continue in it. 22 But the wicked shall be destroyed from the earth, and they that do unjustly, shall be taken away from it. 21 My son, let not these things depart from thy eyes, keep the law and counsel. 22 And there shall be life to thy soul, and grace to thy mouth. 23 Then shalt thou walk confidently in thy way, and thy foot shall not stumble. 24 If thou sleep, thou shalt not fear, thou shalt rest, and thy sleep shall be sweet. 25 Be not afraid of sudden fear, nor of the power of the wicked falling upon thee. 26 For the Lord will be at thy side, and will keep thy foot that thou be not taken. 27 Do not withhold him from doing good, who is able, if thou art able, do good thyself also. 28 Say not to thy friend, Go, and come again. And tomorrow I will give to thee, when thou canst give at present. 29 Practice not evil against thy friend, when he hath confidence in thee. 30 Strive not against a man without cause, when he hath done thee no evil. 31 Envy not the unjust man, and do not follow his ways. 32 For every mocker is an abomination to the Lord, and his communication is with the simple. 33 Want is from the Lord in the house of the wicked, but the habitations of the just shall be blessed. 34 He shall scorn the scorners, and to the meek he will give grace. 35 The wise shall possess glory, the promotion of fools is disgrace. 5 Get wisdom, get prudence, forget not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. 6 Forsake her not, and she shall keep thee. Love her, and she shall preserve thee. 7 The beginning of wisdom, get wisdom, and with all thy possession purchase prudence. 18 But the path of the just American Samoa is shining light, goeth forwards, and increaseth even to perfect day. 19 The way of the wicked is darksome, they know not where they fall. 29 So he that goeth into his neighbor's wife shall not be clean when he shall touch her. 32 But he that is an adulterer, for the folly of his heart shall destroy his own soul. 25 Let not thy mind be drawn away in her ways, neither be thou deceived with her paths. 26 For she hath cast down many wounded, and the strongest have been slain by her. 27 Her house is the way to hell, reaching even to the inner chambers of death. 10 Receive my instruction, and not money. Choose knowledge rather than gold. 11 For wisdom is better than all the most precious things, and whatsoever may be desired cannot be compared to it. 34 Blessed is the man that heareth me, and that watcheth daily at my gates, and wait at the posts of my doors. 35 He that shall find me, shall find life, and shall have salvation from the Lord. 36 But he that shall sin against me shall hurt his own soul. All that hate me love death. Chapter 10 A wise son maketh the father glad, but a foolish son is the sorrow of his mother. 2 Treasures of wickedness shall profit nothing, but justice shall deliver from death. 3 The Lord will not afflict the soul of the just with famine, and he will disappoint the deceitful practices of the wicked. 4 The slothful hand hath wrought poverty, but the hand of the industrious getteth riches. He that trusteth to lies feedeth the winds, and the same runneth after birds, that fly away. 5 He that gathereth in the harvest, is a wise son, but he that snorteth in the summer, is the son of confusion. 6 The blessing of the Lord is upon the head of the just, but iniquity covereth the mouth of the wicked. 7 The memory of the just is with praises, and the name of the wicked shall rot. 8 The wise of heart receiveth precepts, a fool is beaten with lips. 9 He that walketh sincerely, walketh confidently, but he that perverteth his ways, shall be manifest. 10 He that winketh with the eye, shall cause sorrow, and the foolish in lips shall be beaten. 11 The mouth of the just is a vein of life, and the mouth of the wicked covereth iniquity. 12 Hatred stirreth up strifes, and charity covereth all sins. 13 In the lips of the wise is wisdom found, and a rod on the back of him that wanteth sense. 14 Wise men lay up knowledge, but the mouth of the fool is next to confusion. 15 The substance of a rich man is the city of his strength, the fear of the poor is their poverty. 16 The work of the just is unto life, but the fruit of the wicked unto sin. 17 The way of life, to him that observeth correction, but he that forsaketh reproofs, goeth astray. 18 Lying lips hide hatred, he that uttereth reproach, is foolish. 19 In the multitude of words there shall not want sin, but he that refraineth his lips, is most wise. 20 The tongue of the just is as choice silver, but the heart of the wicked is nothing worth. 21 The lips of the just teach many, but they that are ignorant, shall die in the want of understanding. 22 The blessing of the Lord maketh men rich, neither shall affliction be joined to them. 23 A fool worketh mischief as it were for sport, but wisdom is prudence to a man. 24 That which the wicked feareth, shall come upon him, to the just their desire shall be given. 25 As a tempest that passeth, so the wicked shall be no more, but the just is as an everlasting foundation. 26 As vinegar to the teeth, and smoke to the eyes, so is the sluggard to them that sent him. 27 The fear of the Lord shall prolong days, and the years of the wicked shall be shortened. 28 The expectation of the just is joy, but the hope of the wicked shall perish. 29 The strength of the upright is the way of the Lord, and fear to them that work evil. 30 The just shall never be moved, but the wicked shall not dwell on the earth. 31 The mouth of the just shall bring forth wisdom, the tongue of the perverse shall perish. 32 The lips of the just consider what is acceptable, and the mouth of the wicked uttereth perverse things. Chapter 11 A deceitful balance is an abomination before the Lord, and a just weight is his will. 2 Where pride is, there also shall be reproach, but where humility is, there also is wisdom. 3 The simplicity of the just shall guide them, and the deceitfulness of the wicked shall destroy them. 4 Riches shall not profit in the day of revenge, but justice shall deliver from death. 5 The justice of the upright shall make his way prosperous, and the wicked man shall fall by his own wickedness. 6 The justice of the righteous shall deliver them, and the unjust shall be caught in their own snares. 7 When the wicked man is dead, there shall be no hope any more, and the expectation of the solicitous shall perish. 9 The dissembler with his mouth deceiveth his friend, but the just shall be delivered by knowledge. 10 When it goeth well with the just, the city shall rejoice, and when the wicked perish, there shall be praise. 12 He that despiseth his friend, is mean of heart, but the wise man will hold his peace. 13 He that walketh deceitfully, revealeth secrets, but he that is faithful, concealeth the thing committed to him by his friend. 14 Where there is no governor, the people shall fall, but there is safety where there is much counsel. 17 A merciful man doth good to his own soul, but he that is cruel casteth off even his own kindred. 18 The wicked make an unsteady work, but to him that soweth justice, there is a faithful reward. 19 Clemency prepareth life, and the pursuing of evil things, death. 20 A perverse heart is abominable to the Lord, and his will is in them that walk sincerely. 21 Hand in hand the evil man shall not be innocent, but the seed of the just shall be saved. 23 The desire of the just is all good, the expectation of the wicked is indignation. 24 Some distribute their own goods, and grow richer, others take away what is not their own, and are always in want. 26 He that hideth up corn, shall be cursed among the people, but a blessing upon the head of them that sell. 28 He that trusteth in his riches shall fall, but the just shall spring up as a green leaf. 29 He that troubleth his own house, shall inherit the winds, and the fool shall serve the wise. Chapter 12 He that loveth correction, loveth knowledge, but he that hateth reproof, is foolish. For a diligent woman is a crown to her husband, and she that doth things worthy of confusion, is as rottenness in his bones. 5 The thoughts of the just are judgments, and the counsels of the wicked are deceitful. 8 A man shall be known by his learning, but he that is vain and foolish, shall be exposed to contempt. 9 Better is the poor man that provideth for himself, than he that is glorious and wanteth bread. 10 The just regardeth the lives of his beasts, but the bowels of the wicked are cruel. 11 He that tilleth his land shall be satisfied with bread, but he that pursueth idleness is very foolish. 12 He that is delighted in passing his time over wine, leaveth a reproach in his strongholds. 12 The desire of the wicked is the fortification of evil men, but the root of the just shall prosper. 14 By the fruit of his own mouth shall a man be filled with good things, and according to the works of his hands it shall be repaid him. 15 The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that is wise hearkeneth unto counsels. 16 A fool immediately sheweth his anger, but He that dissembleth injuries is wise. 17 He that speaketh that which he knoweth, sheweth forth justice, but he that lieth, is a deceitful witness. 21 Whatsoever shall befall the just man, shall not make him sad, but the wicked shall be filled with mischief. 22 Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but they that deal faithfully, please him. 23 A cautious man concealeth knowledge, and the heart of fools publisheth folly. 24 The hand of the valiant shall bear rule, but that which is slothful shall be under tribute. 26 He that neglecteth a loss for the sake of a friend, is just, but the way of the wicked shall deceive them. 27 The deceitful man shall not find gain, but the substance of a just man shall be precious gold. 28 In the path of justice is life, but the byway leadeth to death. Chapter 13 3 He that keepeth his mouth keepeth his soul, but he that hath no guard on his speech shall meet with evils. 10 Among the proud there are always contentions, but they that do all things with counsel, are ruled by wisdom. 18 Poverty and shame to him that refuseth instruction, but he that yieldeth to reproof shall be glorified. 20 He that walketh with the wise, shall be wise, a friend of fools shall become like to them. 20 The poor man shall be hateful even to his own neighbor, but the friends of the rich are many. 5 A fool laugheth at the instruction of his father, but he that regardeth reproofs shall become prudent. In abundant justice there is the greatest strength, but the devices of the wicked shall be rooted out. 14 The heart of the wise seeketh instruction, and the mouth of fools feedeth on foolishness. 17 It is better to be invited to herbs with love, than to a fat calf with hatred. It is the part of man to prepare the soul, and of the Lord to govern the tongue. For the Lord hath made all things for himself, the wicked also for the evil day. 16 Get wisdom, because it is better than gold, and purchase prudence, for it is more precious than silver. 22 Knowledge is a fountain of life to him that possesseth it, the instruction of fools is foolishness. 31 Old age is a crown of dignity, when it is found in the ways of justice. 32 The patient man is better than the valiant, and he that ruleth his spirit, than he that taketh cities. 2 A wise servant shall rule over foolish sons, and shall divide the inheritance among the brethren. 7 Eloquent words do not become a fool, nor lying lips a prince. 16 What doth it avail a fool to have riches, seeing he cannot buy wisdom? He that maketh his house high, seek the downfall, and he that refuseth to learn, shall fall into evils. 20 He that is of a perverse heart, shall not find good, and he that perverteth his tongue, shall fall into evil. 25 A foolish son is the anger of the father, and the sorrow of the mother that bore him. 26 It is no good thing to do hurt to the just, nor to strike the prince, who judgeth right. 27 He that setteth bounds to his words, is knowing and wise, and the man of understanding is of a precious spirit. 28 Even a fool, if he will hold his peace, shall be counted wise, and if he close his lips, a man of understanding. He that hath a mind to depart from a friend, seek the occasions, he shall ever be subject to reproach. 2 A fool receiveth not the words of prudence, unless thou say those things which are in his heart. 3 The wicked man, when he is come into the depths of sins, contemneth, but ignominy and reproach follow him. 4 Words from the mouth of a man are as deep water, and the fountain of wisdom is an overflowing stream. 7 The mouth of a fool is his destruction, and his lips are the ruin of his soul. 13 He that answereth before he heareth, sheweth himself to be a fool, and worthy of confusion. 14 The spirit of a man upholdeth his infirmity, but a spirit that is easily angered, who can bear? 15 A wise heart shall acquire knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeketh instruction. 22 He that hath found a good wife, hath found a good thing, and shall receive a pleasure from the Lord. He that driveth away a good wife, driveth away a good thing, but he that keepeth an adulteress, is foolish and wicked. 24 A man amiable in society, shall be more friendly than a brother. For riches make many friends, but from the poor man, even they whom he had, depart. 5 A false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that speaketh lies, shall not escape. 17 He that hath mercy on the poor, lendeth to the Lord, and he will repay him. 25 The wicked man being scourged, the fool shall be wiser, but if thou rebuke a wise man, he will understand discipline. 26 He that afflicteth his father, and chaseth away his mother, is infamous and unhappy. 7 The just that walketh in his simplicity, shall leave behind him blessed children. 9 Who can say, my heart is clean, I am pure from sin? 18 Designs are strengthened by counsels, and wars are to be managed by governments. 20 He that curseth his father, and mother, his lamp shall be put out in the midst of darkness. 23 Diverse weights are an abomination before the Lord, a deceitful balance is not good. 9 It is better to sit in a corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman, and in a common house. 17 He that loveth good cheer, shall be in want. He that loveth wine, and fat things, shall not be rich. 20 There is a treasure to be desired, and oil in the dwelling of the just, and the foolish man shall spend it. 24 The proud and the arrogant is called ignorant, who in anger worketh pride. A good name is better than great riches, and good favor is above silver and gold. 2 The rich and poor have met one another. The Lord is the maker of them both. 16 He that oppresseth the poor, to increase his own riches, shall himself give to one that is richer, and shall be in need. 20 Behold, I have described it to thee 3 manner of ways, in thoughts and knowledge. 21 That I might shew thee the certainty, and the words of truth, to answer out of these to them that sent thee. 22 Do no violence to the poor, because he is poor, and do not oppress the needy in the gate. 23 Because the Lord will judge his cause, and will afflict them that have afflicted his soul. 24 Be not a friend to an angry man, and do not walk with a furious man. 25 Lest perhaps thou learn his ways, and take scandal to thy soul. 26 Be not with them that fasten down their hands, and that offer themselves sureties for debts. 27 For if thou have not wherewith to restore, what cause is there that he should take the covering from thy bed? 28 Pass not beyond the ancient bounds which thy fathers have set. 29 Hast thou seen a man swift in his work? He shall stand before kings, and shall not be before those that are obscure. 4 Labor not to be rich, but set bounds to thy prudence. 6 Eat not with an envious man, and desire not his meats. 7 Because, like a soothsayer, and diviner, he think that which he knoweth not. Eat and drink, will he say to thee, and his mind is not with thee. 9 Speak not in the ears of fools, because they will despise the instruction of thy speech. 10 Touch not the bounds of little ones, and enter not into the field of the fatherless. 12 Let thy heart apply itself to instruction, and thy ears to words of knowledge. 13 Withhold not correction from a child, for if thou strike him with the rod, he shall not die. 14 Thou shalt beat him with the rod, and deliver his soul from hell. 22 Hearken to thy father, that begot thee, and despise not thy mother when she is old. 23 Buy truth, and do not sell wisdom, and instruction, and understanding. 24 The father of the just rejoiceth greatly, he that hath begotten a wise son, shall have joy in him. 25 Let thy father and thy mother be joyful, and let her rejoice that bore thee. 27 For a harlot is a deep ditch, and a strange woman is a narrow pit. Seek not to be like evil men, neither desire to be with them. 2 Because their mind studieth robberies, and their lips speak deceits. 3 By wisdom the house shall be built, and by prudence it shall be strengthened. 7 Wisdom is too high for a fool, in the gate he shall not open his mouth. 10 If thou lose hope, being weary in the day of distress, thy strength shall be diminished. 17 When thy enemy shall fall, be not glad, and in his ruin let not thy heart rejoice. 18 Lest the Lord see, and it displease him, and he turn away his wrath from him. 27 Prepare thy work without, and diligently till thy ground, that afterward thou mayst build thy house. 28 Be not witness without cause against thy neighbor, and deceive not any man with thy lips. 19 To trust in an unfaithful man in the time of trouble, is like a rotten tooth, and weary foot. 21 If thy enemy be hungry, give him to eat, if he thirst, give him water to drink. 22 For thou shalt heap hot coals upon his head, and the Lord will reward thee. As snow in summer, and rain in harvest, so glory is not seemly for a fool. 4 Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest thou be made like him. 5 Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he imagine himself to be wise. 11 As a dog that returneth to his vomit, so is the fool that repeateth his folly. 19 So is the man that hurteth his friend deceitfully, and when he is taken, saith, I did it in jest. 28 A deceitful tongue loveth not truth, and a slippery mouth worketh ruin. Dash. Boast not for tomorrow, for thou knowest not what the day to come may bring forth. 2 Let another praise thee, and not thy own mouth, a stranger, and not thy own lips. 3 A stone is heavy, and sand weighty, but the anger of a fool is heavier than them both. 5 Open rebuke is better than hidden love. 11 Study wisdom, my son, and make my heart joyful, that thou mayst give an answer to him that reproacheth. 14 He that blesseth his neighbor with a loud voice, rising in the night, shall be like to him that curseth. 27 Let the milk of the goats be enough for thy food, and for the necessities of thy house, and for maintenance for thy handmaids. Dash. 3 A poor man that oppresseth the poor, is like a violent shower, which bringeth a famine. 13 He that hideth his sins, shall not prosper. But he that shall confess, and forsake them, shall obtain mercy. 24 He that stealeth anything from his father, or from his mother, and saith, This is no sin, is the partner of a murderer. Dash. 2 When just men increase, the people shall rejoice, when the wicked shall bear rule, the people shall mourn. 7 The just taketh notice of the cause of the poor, the wicked is void of knowledge. 8 Corrupt men bring a city to ruin, but wise men turn away wrath. 15 The rod and reproof give wisdom, but the child that is left to his own will, bringeth his mother to shame. 16 When the wicked are multiplied, crimes shall be multiplied, but the just shall see their downfall. 17 Instruct thy son and he shall refresh thee, and shall give delight to thy soul. Dash. 8 Remove far from me vanity, and lying words. Give me neither beggary, nor riches, give me only the necessaries of life. 9 Lest perhaps being filled, I should be tempted to deny, and say, Who is the Lord? Or, being compelled by poverty, I should steal, and forswear the name of my God. 10 Accuse not a servant to his master, lest he curse thee, and thou fall. 11 There is a generation that curseth their father, and doth not bless their mother. 12 A generation that are pure in their own eyes, and yet are not washed from their filthiness. 13 A generation, whose eyes are lofty, and their eyelids lifted up on high. 14 A generation that for teeth hath swords, and grindeth with their jaw teeth, to devour the needy from off the earth, and the poor from among men. 17 The eye that mocketh at his father, and that despiseth the labor of his mother in bearing him, let the ravens of the brooks pick it out, and the young eagles eat it. 32 There is that hath appeared a fool after he was lifted up on high, for if he had understood, he would have laid his hand upon his mouth. Dash. Chapter 31 The words of King Lemuel. The vision wherewith his mother instructed him. 4 Give not to kings, O Lemuel, give not wine to kings, because there is no secret where drunkenness reigneth. 5 Unless they drink and forget judgments, and pervert the cause of the children of the poor. 6 Give strong drink to them that are sad, and wine to them that are grieved in mind. 7 Let them drink, and forget their want, and remember their sorrow no more. 8 Open thy mouth for the dumb, and for the causes of all the children that pass. 9 Open thy mouth, decree that which is just, and do justice to the needy and poor. 10 Who shall find a valiant woman? Far, and from the uttermost coasts is the price of her. 11 The heart of her husband trusteth in her, and he shall have no need of spoils. 12 She will render him good, and not evil all the days of her life. 26 She hath opened her mouth to wisdom, and the law of clemency is on her tongue. 28 Her children rose up, and called her blessed, her husband, and he praised her. 29 Many daughters have gathered together riches, thou hast surpassed them all. 30 Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain. The woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. 31 Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her works praise her in the gates. Dash. Ecclesiastes. For one generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth standeth for ever. Dash. 3 I thought in my heart, to withdraw my flesh from wine, that I might turn my mind to wisdom, and might avoid folly, till I might see what was profitable for the children of men, and what they ought to do under the sun, all the days of their life. 9 And I surpassed in riches all that were before me in Jerusalem, my wisdom also remained with me. 10 And whatsoever my eyes desired, I refused them not, and I withheld not my heart from enjoying every pleasure, and delighting itself in the things which I had prepared, and esteemed this my portion, to make use of my own labor. 11 And when I turned myself to all the works which my hands had wrought, and to the labors wherein I had labored in vain, I saw in all things vanity, and vexation of mind, and that nothing was lasting under the sun. 12 I passed further to behold wisdom, and errors, and folly. What is man, said I, that he can follow the king his maker? 13 And I saw that wisdom excelled folly, as much as light differeth from darkness. 14 The eyes of a wise man are in his head, the fool walketh in darkness, and I learned that they were to die both alike. 15 And I said in my heart, if the death of the fool and mine shall be one, what doth it avail me, that I have applied myself more to the study of wisdom? And speaking with my own mind, I perceived that this also was vanity. 16 For there shall be no remembrance of the wise no more than of the fool forever, and the times to come shall cover all things together with oblivion. The learned dieth in like manner as the unlearned. 17 And therefore I was weary of my life, when I saw that all things under the sun are evil, and all vanity and vexation of spirit. 18 Again I hated all my application wherewith I had earnestly labored under the sun, being like to have an heir after me. 19 Whom I know not whether he will be a wise man or a fool, and he shall have rule over all my labors with which I have labored and been solicitous, and is there anything so vain? 20 Wherefore I left off, and my heart renounced laboring any more under the sun. 21 For when a man laboureth in wisdom, and knowledge, and carefulness, he leaveth what he hath gotten to an idle man, so this also is vanity, and a great evil. 22 For what profit shall a man have of all his labour, and vexation of spirit, with which he hath been tormented under the sun? 23 All his days are full of sorrows and miseries. Even in the night he doth not rest in mind, and is not this vanity? 24 Is it not better to eat and drink, and to shew his soul good things of his labours? And this is from the hand of God. 25 Who shall so feast and abound with delights as I? 26 God hath given to a man that is good in his sight, wisdom, and knowledge, and joy, but to the sinner he hath given vexation, and superfluous care, to heap up and to gather together, and to give it to him that hath pleased God, but this also is vanity, and a fruitless solicitude of the mind. All things have their season, and in their times. All things pass under heaven. 2 A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted. 3 A time to kill, and a time to heal. A time to destroy, and a time to build. 4 A time to weep, and a time to laugh. A time to mourn, and a time to dance. 5 A time to scatter stones, and a time to gather. A time to embrace, and a time to be far from embraces. 6 A time to get, and a time to lose. A time to keep, and a time to cast away. 7 A time to rend, and a time to sow. A time to keep silence, and a time to speak. 8 A time of love, and a time of hatred. A time of war, and a time of peace. 19 Therefore the death of man, and of beasts, is one, and the condition of them both is equal. As man dieth, so they also die. All things breathe alike, and man hath nothing more than beast. All things are subject to vanity. 20 And all things go to one place, of earth they were made, and into earth they return together. 21 Who knoweth if the spirit of the children of Adam ascend upward, and if the spirit of the beasts descend downward? 22 And I have found that nothing is better than for a man to rejoice in his work, and that this is his portion. For who shall bring him to know the things that shall be after him? 9 It is better therefore that two should be together, than one, for they have the advantage of their society. 10 If one fall he shall be supported by the other. Woe to him that is alone, for when he falleth, he hath none to lift him up. 11 And if two lie together, they shall warm One another, how shall one alone be warmed? 12 And if a man prevail against one, two shall withstand him, a threefold cord is not easily broken. 13 Better is a child that is poor and wise, than a king that is old and foolish, who knoweth not to foresee for hereafter. 14 Because out of prison and chains sometimes a man cometh forth to a kingdom, and another born king is consumed with poverty. 3 If thou hast vowed anything to God, defer not to pay it, for an unfaithful and foolish promise displeaseth him, but whatsoever thou hast vowed, pay it. 4 And it is much better not to vow, than after a vow not to perform the things promised. 17 This therefore hath seemed good to me, that a man should eat and drink, and enjoy the fruit of his labor, wherewith he hath labored under the sun, all the days of his life, which God hath given him, and this is his portion. 18 And every man to whom God hath given riches and substance, and hath given him power to eat thereof, and to enjoy his portion, and to rejoice of his labor, this is the gift of God. 19 For he shall not much remember the days of his life, because God entertaineth his heart with delight. 2 A good name is better than precious ointments, and the day of death than the day of one's birth. 6 It is better to be rebuked by a wise man than to be deceived by the flattery of fools. 13 For as wisdom is a defense, so money is a defense, but learning and wisdom excel in this, that they give life to him that possesseth them. 15 In the good day enjoy good things, and beware beforehand of the evil day, for God hath made both the one and the other, that man may not find against him any just complaint. 16 These things also I saw in the days of my vanity, a just man perisheth in his justice, and a wicked man liveth a long time in his wickedness. 17 Be not overjust, and be not more wise than is necessary, lest thou become stupid. 5 He that keepeth the commandment, shall find no evil. The heart of a wiser man understandeth time and answer. 6 There is a time and opportunity for every business, and great affliction for man. 7 Because he is ignorant of things past, and things to come he cannot know by any messenger. 11 For because sentence is not speedily pronounced against the evil, the children of men commit evils without any fear. 2 But all things are kept uncertain for the time to come, because all things equally happen to the just and to the wicked, to the good and to the evil, to the clean and to the unclean, to him that offereth victims, and to him that despiseth sacrifices. As the good is, so also is the sinner. As the perjured, so he also that sweareth truth. 5 For the living know that they shall die, but the dead know nothing more, neither have they a reward any more, for the memory of them is forgotten. 6 Their love also, and their hatred, and their envy are all perished, neither have they any part in this world, and in the work that is done under the sun. 7 Go then, and eat thy bread with joy, and drink thy wine with gladness, because thy works please God. 8 At all times let thy garments be white, and let not oil depart from thy head. 9 Live joyfully with the wife whom thou lovest all the days of thy unsteady life, which are given to thee under the sun, all the time of thy vanity. For this is thy portion in life, and in thy labor, wherewith thou labourest under the sun. 10 Whatsoever thy hand is able to do, do it earnestly, for neither work, nor reason, nor wisdom, nor knowledge shall be in hell, whither thou art hastening. 16 And I said that wisdom is better than strength. How then is the wisdom of the poor man slighted, and his words not heard? 17 The words of the wise are heard in silence, more than the cry of a prince among fools. 18 Better is wisdom, than weapons of war. And he that shall offend in one, shall lose many good things. Dying flies spoil the sweetness of the ointment. Wisdom and glory is more precious than a small and short-lived folly. 3 Yea, and the fool when he walketh in the way, whereas he himself is a fool, esteemeth all men fools. 7 I have seen servants upon horses, and princes walking on the ground as servants. 2 Give a portion to 7, and also to 8. For thou knowest not what evil shall be upon the earth. 8 If a man live many years, and have rejoiced in them all, he must remember the darksome time, and the many days, which when they shall come, the things past shall be accused of vanity. 9 Rejoice therefore, O young man, in thy youth, and let thy heart be in that which is good. In the days of thy youth, and walk in the ways of thy heart, and in the sight of thy eyes, and know that for all these God will bring thee into judgment. 10. Remove anger from thy heart, and put away evil from thy flesh. For youth and pleasure are vain. 14. And all things that are done, God will bring into judgment for every error, whether it be good or evil. Book of Wisdom. Love justice, you that are the judges of the earth. For they have said, reasoning with themselves, but not right, the time of our life is short and tedious, and in the end of a man there is no remedy, and no man hath been known to have returned from hell. 2. For we are born of nothing, and after this we shall be as if we had not been, for the breath in our nostrils is smoke, and speech is spark to move our heart. Chapter 6. Wisdom is better than strength, and a wise man is better than a strong man. 2. Hear, therefore, ye kings, and understand. Learn ye that are judges of the ends of the earth. 3. Give ear, you that rule the people, and that please yourselves in multitudes of nations. 4. For power is given you by the Lord, and strength by the Most High, who will examine your works, and search out your thoughts. 6. Because being ministers of his kingdom, you have not judged rightly, nor kept the law of justice, nor walked according to the will of God. 6. Horribly and speedily will he appear to you. For a most severe judgment shall be for them that bear rule. 7. For to him that is little, mercy is granted, but the mighty shall be mightily tormented. 8. For God will not accept any man's person, neither will he stand in awe of any man's greatness, for he made the little and the great, and he hath equally care of all. 9. But a greater punishment is ready for the more mighty. 10. To you, therefore, O kings, are these my words, that you may learn wisdom, and not fall from it. 11. For they that have kept just things justly shall be justified, and they that have learned these things shall find what to answer. 12. Covet ye, therefore, my words, and love them, and you shall have instruction. 13. Wisdom is glorious, and never fadeth away, and is easily seen by them that love her, and is found by them that seek her. 14. She preventeth them that covet her, so that she first showeth herself unto them. 15. He that awake thoroughly to seek her, shall not labor, for he shall find her sitting at his door. 16. To think, therefore, upon her, is perfect understanding, and he that watcheth for her shall quickly be secure. 17. For she goeth about seeking such as are worthy of her, and she showeth herself to them cheerfully in the ways, and meet them with all providence. 18. For the beginning of her is the most true desire of discipline. 19. And the care of discipline is love, and love is the keeping of her laws, and the keeping of her laws is the firm foundation of incorruption. 20. And incorruption bringeth near to God. 21. Therefore the desire of wisdom bringeth to the everlasting kingdom. 22. If then your delight be in thrones, and scepters, O ye kings of the people, love wisdom, that you may reign forever. 23. Love the light of wisdom, all ye that bear rule over peoples. 24. Now what wisdom is, and what was her origin, I will declare, and I will not hide from you the mysteries of God, but will seek her out from the beginning of her birth, and bring the knowledge of her to light, and will not pass over the truth. 25. Neither will I go with consuming envy, for such a man shall not be partaker of wisdom. 26. Now the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the whole world, and a wise king is the upholding of the people. 27. Receive, therefore, instruction by my words, and it shall be profitable to you. 7. Wherefore I wished, and understanding was given me, and I called upon God, and the spirit of wisdom came upon me. 8. And I preferred her before kingdoms and thrones, and esteemed riches nothing in comparison of her. 9. Neither did I compare unto her any precious stone, for all gold, in comparison of her, is as a little sand, and silver, in respect to her, shall be counted as clay. 10. I loved her above health and beauty, and chose to have her instead of light, for her light cannot be put out. 11. Now all good things came to me together with her, and innumerable riches through her hands. 12. And I rejoiced in all these, for this wisdom went before me, and I knew not that she was the mother of them all. 13. Which I have learned without guile, and communicate without envy, and her riches I hide not. 14 For she is an infinite treasure to men, which they that use, become the friends of God, being commended for the gifts of discipline. 17 For he hath given me the true knowledge of the things that are. 21 And all such things as are hid, and not foreseen, I have learned, for wisdom, which is the worker of all things, taught me. God of my fathers, and Lord of mercy, who hast made all things with thy word. 2 And by thy wisdom hast appointed man, that he should have dominion over the creature that was made by thee. 3 That he should order the world according to equity and justice, and execute justice with an upright heart. 4 Give me wisdom, that sitteth by thy throne, and cast me not off from among thy children. 5 For I am thy servant, and the son of thy handmaid, a weak man, and of short time, and falling short of the understanding of judgment and laws. 21 For wisdom opened the mouth of the dumb, and made the tongues of infants eloquent. 17 That they might know that by what things a man sinneth, by the same also he is tormented. 4 For it was requisite that inevitable destruction should come upon them that exercised tyranny, but to these it should only be shown how their enemies were destroyed. Ecclesiasticus. For wisdom hath been created before all things, and the understanding of prudence from everlasting. 16 The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and was created with the faithful in the womb, it walketh with chosen women, and is known with the just and faithful. 33 Son, if thou desire wisdom, keep justice, and God will give her to thee. 34 For the fear of the Lord is wisdom and discipline, and that which is agreeable to him. 35 Is faith and meekness, and he will fill up his treasures. 5 For gold and silver are tried in the fire, but acceptable men in the furnace of humiliation. 6 Believe God, and he will recover thee, and direct thy way, and trust in him. Keep his fear, and grow old therein. 7 Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside from him lest ye fall. 8 Ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not be made void. 9 Ye that fear the Lord, hope in him, and mercy shall come to you for your delight. 10 Ye that fear the Lord, love him, and your hearts shall be enlightened. 13 For God is compassionate and merciful, and will forgive sins in the day of tribulation, and he is a protector to all that seek him in truth. 18 They that fear the Lord, will not be incredulous to his word, and they that love him, will keep his way. 19 They that fear the Lord, will seek after the things that are well pleasing to him, and they that love him, shall be filled with his law. 20 They that fear the Lord, will prepare their hearts, and in his sight will sanctify their souls. 21 They that fear the Lord, keep his commandments, and will have patience even until his visitation. 22 Saying, if we do not penance, we shall fall into the hands of the Lord, and not into the hands of men. 23 For according to his greatness, so also is his mercy with him. The sons of wisdom are the church of the just, and their generation, obedience and love. 5 And he that honoureth his mother is as one that layeth up a treasure. 6 He that honoureth his father shall have joy in his own children, and in the day of his prayer he shall be heard. 7 He that honoureth his father shall enjoy a long life, and he that obeyeth the father, shall be a comfort to his mother. 8 He that feareth the Lord, honoureth his parents, and will serve them as his masters that brought him into the world. 9 Honour thy father in work and word, and all patience. 10 That a blessing may come upon thee from him, and his blessing may remain in the latter end. 13 For the glory of a man is from the honour of his father, and a father without honour is the disgrace of the son. 14 Son, support the old age of thy father, and grieve him not in his life. 15 And if his understanding fail, have patience with him, and despise him not when thou art in thy strength, for the relieving of the father shall not be forgotten. 22 Seek not the things that are too high for thee, and search not into things above thy ability, but the things that God hath commanded thee, think on them always, and in many of his works be not curious. 28 A heart that goeth two ways shall not have success, and the perverse of heart shall be scandalized therein. 31 The heart of the wise is understood in wisdom, and a good ear will hear wisdom with all desire. 32 A wise heart, and which hath understanding, will abstain from sins, and in the works of justice shall have success. Son, defraud not the poor of alms, and turn not away thy eyes from the poor. 2. Despise not the hungry soul, and provoke not the poor in his want. 8. Bow down thy ear cheerfully to the poor, and pay what thou owest, and answer him peaceable words with mildness. 33. Strive for justice for thy soul, and even unto death fight for justice, and God will overthrow thy enemies for thee. 35. Be not as a lion in thy house, terrifying them of thy household, and oppressing them that are under thee. 5. Be not without fear about sin forgiven, and add not sin upon sin. 15. Honor and glory is in the word of the wise, but the tongue of the fool is his ruin. Instead of a friend become not an enemy to thy neighbor, for an evil man shall inherit reproach and shame, so shall every sinner that is envious and double-tongued. 13. Separate thyself from thy enemies, and take heed of thy friends. 14. A faithful friend is a strong defense, and he that hath found him, hath found a treasure. 15. Nothing can be compared to a faithful friend, and no weight of gold and silver is able to countervail the goodness of his fidelity. 16. A faithful friend is the medicine of life and immortality, and they that fear the Lord, shall find him. 17. He that feareth God, shall likewise have good friendship, because according to him shall his friend be. 21. How very unpleasant is wisdom to the unlearned, and the unwise will not continue with her. 22. She shall be to them as a mighty stone of trial, and they will cast her from them before it be long. 23. For the wisdom of doctrine is according to her name, and she is not manifest unto many, but with them to whom she is known, she continueth, even to the sight of God. 24. Give ear, my son, and take wise counsel, and cast not away my advice. 25. Put thy feet into her fetters, and thy neck into her chains. 26. Bow down thy shoulder, and bear her, and be not grieved with her bands. 27. Come to her with all thy mind, and keep her ways with all thy power. 28. Search for her, and she shall be made known to thee, and when thou hast gotten her, let her not go. 29. For in the latter end thou shalt find rest in her, and she shall be turned to thy joy. 30. Then shall her fetters be a strong defense for thee, and a firm foundation, and her chain a robe of glory. 31. For in her is the beauty of life, and her bands are a healthful binding. 32. Thou shalt put her on as a robe of glory, and thou shalt set her upon thee as a crown of joy. 33. My son, if thou wilt attend to me, thou shalt learn, and if thou wilt apply thy mind, thou shalt be wise. 34. If thou wilt incline thy ear, thou shalt receive instruction, and if thou love to hear, thou shalt be wise. 35. Stand in the multitude of ancients that are wise, and join thyself from thy heart to their wisdom, that thou mayst hear every discourse of God, and the sayings of praise may not escape thee. 36. And if thou see a man of understanding, go to him early in the morning, and let thy foot wear the steps of his doors. 37. Let thy thoughts be upon the precepts of God, and meditate continually on his commandments, and he will give thee a heart, and the desire of wisdom shall be given to thee. 5. Justify not thyself before God, for he knoweth the heart, and desire not to appear wise before the king. 6. Seek not to be made a judge, unless thou have strength enough to extirpate iniquities, lest thou fear the person of the powerful, and lay a stumbling block for thy integrity. 7. Offend not against the multitude of a city, neither cast thyself in upon the people. 8. Nor bind sin to sin, for even in one thou shalt not be unpunished. 16. Hate not laborious works, nor husbandry ordained by the Most High. 21. Depart not from a wise and good wife, whom thou hast gotten in the fear of the Lord, for the grace of her modesty is above gold. 22. Hurt not the servant that worketh faithfully, nor the hired man that giveth thee his life. 23. Let a wise servant be dear to thee as thy own soul, defraud him not of liberty, nor leave him needy. 24. Hast thou cattle? Have an eye to them, and if they be for thy profit, keep them with thee. 25. Hast thou children? Instruct them, and bow down their neck from their childhood. 26. Hast thou daughters? Have a care of their body, and shew not thy countenance gay towards them. 27. Marry thy daughter well, and thou shalt do a great work, and give her to a wise man. 28. If thou hast a wife according to thy soul, cast her not off, and to her that is hateful, Trust not thyself with thy whole heart. 29 Honor thy father, and forget not the groanings of thy mother. 30 Remember that thou hadst not been born, but through them, and make a return to them, as they have done for thee. 5 Communicate not with an ignorant man, lest he speak ill of thy family. 6 Despise not a man that turneth away from sin, nor reproach him therewith, remember that we are all worthy of reproof. 7 Despise not a man in his old age, for we also shall become old. 9 Despise not the discourse of them that are ancient and wise, but acquaint thyself with their proverbs. 10 For of them thou shalt learn wisdom, and instruction of understanding, and to serve great men without blame. 11 Let not the discourse of the ancients escape thee, for they have learned of their fathers. 12 For of them thou shalt learn understanding, and to give an answer in time of need. 20 Advise not with fools, for they cannot love but such things as please them. 22 Open not thy heart to every man, lest he repay thee with an evil turn, and speak reproachfully to thee. 2 Give not the power of thy soul to a woman, lest she enter upon thy strength, and thou be confounded. 6 Give not thy soul to harlots in any point, lest thou destroy thyself and thy inheritance. 12 Sit not at all with another man's wife, nor repose upon the bed with her. 13 And strive not with her over wine, lest thy heart decline towards her, and by thy blood thou fall into destruction. 14 Forsake not an old friend, for the new will not be like to him. 15 A new friend is as new wine, it shall grow old, and thou shalt drink it with pleasure. 16 Envy not the glory and riches of a sinner, for thou knowest not what his ruin shall be. A wise judge shall judge his people, and the government of a prudent man shall be steady. 3 An unwise king shall be the ruin of his people, and cities shall be inhabited through the prudence of the rulers. 10 There is not a more wicked thing than to love money, for such a one setteth even his own soul to sale, because while he liveth he hath cast away his bowels. 26 Despise not a just man that is poor, and do not magnify a sinful man that is rich. 30 Better is he that laboureth, and aboundeth in all things, than he that boasteth himself and wanteth bread. 32 Who will justify him that sinneth against his own soul? And who will honor him that dishonoureth his own soul? 2 Praise not a man for his beauty, neither despise a man for his look. 16 Error and darkness are created with sinners, and they that glory in evil things, grow old in evil. 34 Of one spark cometh a great fire, and of one deceitful man much blood, and a sinful man layeth in wait for blood. If thou do good, know to whom thou dost it, and there shall be much thanks for thy good deeds. 2 Do good to the just, and thou shalt find great recompense, and if not of him, assuredly of the Lord. 8 A friend shall not be known in prosperity, and an enemy shall not be hidden in adversity. 9 In the prosperity of a man, his enemies are grieved, and a friend is known in his adversity. 22 What fellowship hath a holy man with a dog, or what part hath the rich with the poor? 23 The wild ass is the lion's prey in the desert, so also the poor are devoured by the rich. 30 Riches are good to him that hath no sin in his conscience, and poverty is very wicked in the mouth of the ungodly. 2 Happy is he that hath had no sadness of his mind, and who is not fallen from his hope. 3 Riches are not comely for a covetous man, and a niggard, and what should an envious man do with gold? 6 There is none worse than he that envieth himself, and this is the reward of his wickedness. 7 And if he do good, he doth it ignorantly and unwillingly, and at the last he discovereth his wickedness. 12 Remember that death is not slow, and that the covenant of hell hath been shown to thee, for the covenant of this world shall surely die. 13 Do good to thy friend before thou die, and according to thy ability, stretching out thy hand, give to the poor. 22 Blessed is the man that shall continue in wisdom, and that shall meditate in his justice, and in his mind shall think of the all-seeing eye of God. 23 He that considereth her ways in his heart, and hath understanding in her secrets, who goeth after her as one that traceth, and stayeth in her ways. 24 He who looketh in at her windows, and hearkeneth at her door. 25 He that lodgeth near her house, and fastening a pin in her walls shall set up his tent high unto her, where good things shall rest in his lodging for ever. 26 He shall set his children under her shelter, and shall lodge under her branches. 27 He shall be protected under her covering from the heat, and shall rest in her glory. 8 Lying men shall be mindful of her, but men that speak truth shall be found with her, and shall advance, even till they come to the sight of God. 3 For better is one that feareth God, than 1,000 ungodly children. 4 And it is better to die without children, than to leave ungodly children. 27 Give thanks whilst thou art living, whilst thou art alive and in health thou shalt give thanks, and shalt praise God, and shalt glory in his mercies. 15 My son, in thy good deeds, make no complaint, and when thou givest anything, add not grief by an evil word. 25 Remember poverty in the time of abundance, and the necessities of poverty in the day of riches. 26 From the morning until the evening the time shall be changed, and all these are swift in the eyes of God. A workman that is a drunkard shall not be rich, and he that contemneth small things, shall fall by little and little. 2 Wine and women make wise men fall off, and shall rebuke the prudent. 17 For who is there that hath not offended with his tongue? Admonish thy neighbor before thou threaten him. 19 But the learning of wickedness is not wisdom, and the device of sinners is not prudence. 21 Better is a man that hath less wisdom, and wanteth understanding, with the fear of God, than he that aboundeth in understanding, and transgresseth the law of the Most High. How much better is it to reprove, than to be angry, and not to hinder him that confesseth in prayer. 6 There is one that holdeth his peace, because he knoweth not what to say, and there is another that holdeth his peace, knowing the proper time. 7 A wise man will hold his peace till he see opportunity, but a babbler, and a fool, will regard no time. 8 He that useth many words shall hurt his own soul, and he that taketh authority to himself unjustly shall be hated. 17 A fool shall have no friend, and there shall be no thanks for his good deeds. 21 A man without grace is as a vain fable, it shall be continually in the mouth of the unwise. 22 A parable coming out of a fool's mouth shall be rejected, for he doth not speak it in due season. 27 A thief is better than a man that is always lying, but both of them shall inherit destruction. 31 Presents and gifts blind the eyes of judges, and make them dumb in the mouth, so that they cannot correct. 32 O wisdom that is hid, and treasure that is not seen, what profit is there in them both? 33 Better is he that hideth his folly, than the man that hideth his wisdom. Chapter 21 My son, hast thou sinned? Do so no more, but for thy former sins also pray that they may be forgiven thee. 2 Flee from sins as from the face of a serpent, for if thou comest near them, they will take hold of thee. 3 The teeth thereof are the teeth of a lion, killing the souls of men. 16 The knowledge of a wise man shall abound like a flood, and his counsel continueth like a fountain of life. 17 The heart of a fool is like a broken vessel, and no wisdom at all shall it hold. 18 A man of sense will praise every wise word. He shall hear, and will apply it to himself. The luxurious man hath heard it, and it shall displease him, and he will cast it behind his back. 23 A fool lifteth up his voice in laughter, but a wise man will scarce laugh low to himself. 29 The heart of fools is in their mouth, and the mouth of wise men is in their heart. 30 While the ungodly curseth the devil, he curseth his own soul. 9 He speaketh with one that is asleep, who uttereth wisdom to a fool, and in the end of the discourse he saith, Who is this? 10 Weep for the dead, for his light hath failed, and weep for the fool, for his understanding faileth. 13 The mourning for the dead is 7 days, but for a fool and an ungodly man all the days of their life. 14 Talk not much with a fool and go not with him that hath no sense. 15 Keep thyself from him, that thou mayst not have trouble, and thou shalt not be defiled with his sin. 16 Turn away from him, and thou shalt find rest, and shalt not be wearied out with his folly. 31 I will not be ashamed to salute a friend, neither will I hide myself from his face, and if any evil happen to me by him, I will bear it. 32 So every woman also that leaveth her husband, and bringeth in an heir by another. 33 For first she hath been unfaithful to the law of the Most High, and secondly, she hath offended against her husband. Thirdly, she hath fornicated in adultery, and hath gotten her children of another man. 34 This woman shall be brought into the assembly, and inquisition shall be made of her children. 35 Her children shall not take root, and her branches shall bring forth no fruit. 36 She shall leave her memory to be cursed, and her infamy shall not be blotted out. 37 And they that remain shall know, that there is nothing better than the fear of God, and that there is nothing sweeter than to have regard to the commandments of the Lord. Chapter 24. Wisdom shall praise her own self, and shall be honored in God, and shall glory in the midst of her people. 2 And shall open her mouth in the churches of the Most High, and shall glorify herself in the sight of his power. 3 And in the midst of her own people she shall be exalted, and shall be admired in the holy assembly. 47 See ye that I have not labored myself only, but for all that seek out the truth. 11 Blessed is he that dwelleth with a wise woman, and that hath not slipped with his tongue, and that hath not served such as are unworthy of him. 23 And there is no anger above the anger of a woman. It will be more agreeable to abide with a lion and a dragon, than to dwell with a wicked woman. 24 The wickedness of a woman changeth her face, and she darkeneth her countenance as a bear, and sheweth it like sackcloth in the midst of her neighbors. 25 Her husband groaned, and hearing he sighed a little. 28 Look not upon a woman's beauty, and desire not a woman for beauty. 29 A woman's anger and impudence and confusion is great. 31 A wicked woman abateth the courage, and make the heavy countenance, and a wounded heart. For rich or poor, if his heart is good, his countenance shall be cheerful at all times. 8 A jealous woman is the grief and mourning of the heart. Through poverty many have sinned, and he that seeketh to be enriched, turneth away his eye. 8 Praise not a man before he speaketh, for this is the trial of men. 9 If thou followest justice, thou shalt obtain her, and shalt put her on as a long robe of honor, and thou shalt dwell with her, and she shall protect thee forever, and in the day of acknowledgement thou shalt find a strong foundation. 18 Love thy neighbor, and be joined to him with fidelity. 19 But if thou discover his secrets, follow no more after him. 20 For as a man that destroyeth his friend, so is he that destroyeth the friendship of his neighbor. 21 And as one that letteth a bird go out of his hand, so hast thou let thy neighbor go, and thou shalt not get him again. 22 Follow after him no more, for he is gone afar off, he is fled, as a roe escaped out of the snare because his soul is wounded. 23 Thou canst no more bind him up, and of a curse there is reconciliation. 24 But to disclose the secrets of a friend leaveth no hope to an unhappy soul. 31 Mockery and reproach are of the proud, and vengeance as a lion shall lie in wait for him. 32 They shall perish in a snare that are delighted with the fall of the just, and sorrow shall consume them before they die. 33 Anger and fury are both of them abominable, and the sinful man shall be subject to them. He that seeketh to revenge himself, shall find vengeance from the Lord, and he will surely keep his sins in remembrance. 2 Forgive thy neighbor if he hath hurt thee, and then shall thy sins be forgiven to thee when thou prayest. 2 Lend to thy neighbor in the time of his need, and pay thou thy neighbor again in due time. 3 Keep thy word, and deal faithfully with him, and thou shalt always find that which is necessary for thee. For many have looked upon a thing lent as a thing found, and have given trouble to them that help them. 5 Till they receive, they kiss the hands of the lender, and in promises they humble their voice. 6 But when they should repay, they will ask time, and will return tedious and murmuring words, and will complain of the time. 7 And if he be able to pay, he will stand off. He will scarce pay one half, and will count it as if he had found it. 8 But if not, he will defraud him of his money, and he shall get him for an enemy without cause. 9 And he will pay him with reproaches and curses, and instead of honor and good turn will repay him injuries. 10 Many have refused to lend, not out of wickedness, but they were afraid to be defrauded without cause. 11 But yet towards the poor be thou more hardy, and delay not to shew him mercy. 12 Help the poor because of the commandment, and send him not away empty-handed because of his poverty. 13 Lose thy money for thy brother and thy friend, and hide it not under a stone to be lost. 14 Place thy treasure in the commandments of the Most High, and it shall bring thee more profit than gold. Dash. He that loveth his son, frequently chastiseth him, that he may rejoice in his latter end, and not grope after the doors of his neighbors. 2 He that instructeth his son shall be praised in him, and shall glory in him in the midst of them of his household. 3 He that teacheth his son, maketh his enemy jealous, and in the midst of his friends he shall glory in him. 4 His father is dead, and he is as if he were not dead, for he hath left one behind him that is like himself. 5 While he lived he saw and rejoiced in him. And when he died he was not sorrowful, neither was he confounded before his enemies. 6 For he left behind him a defender of his house against his enemies, and one that will requite kindness to his friends. 7 For the souls of his sons he shall bind up his wounds, and at every cry his bowels shall be troubled. 12 Bow down his neck while he is young, and beat his sides while he is a child, lest he grow stubborn, and regard thee not, and so be a sorrow of heart to thee. 13 Instruct thy son, and labor about him, lest his lewd behavior be an offense to thee. 16 There is no riches above the riches of the health of the body, and there is no pleasure above the joy of the heart. 17 Better is death than a bitter life, and everlasting rest than continual sickness. 18 Good things that are hidden in a mouth that is shut, are as messes of meat set about a grave. 22 Give not up thy soul to sadness, and afflict not thyself in thy own counsel. 23 The joyfulness of the heart is the life of a man, and a never-failing treasure of holiness. And the joy of a man is length of life. 24 Have pity on thy own soul, pleasing God, and contain thyself, gather up thy heart in his holiness, and drive away sadness far from thee. 25 For sadness hath killed many, and there is no profit in it. 26 Envy and anger shorten a man's days, and pensiveness will bring old age before the time. 27 A cheerful and good heart is always feasting, for his banquets are prepared with diligence. Dash. Watching for riches consumeth the flesh, and the thought thereof driveth away sleep. 2 The thinking beforehand turneth away the understanding, and a grievous sickness maketh the soul sober. 3 The rich man hath labored in gathering riches together, and when he resteth he shall be filled with his goods. 4 The poor man hath labored in his low way of life, and in the end he is still poor. 5 He that loveth gold, shall not be justified, and he that followeth after corruption, shall be filled with it. 6 Many have been brought to fall for gold, and the beauty thereof hath been their ruin. 8 Blessed is the rich man that is found without blemish, and that hath not gone after gold, nor put his trust in money nor in treasures. 21 And if thou sittest among many, reach not thy hand out first of all, and be not the first to ask for drink. 22 How sufficient is a little wine for a man well taught, and in sleeping thou shalt not be uneasy with it, and thou shalt feel no pain. 32 Wine taken with sobriety is equal life to men, if thou drink it moderately, thou shalt be sober. 33 What is his life, who is diminished with wine? 34 What taketh away life? Death. 35 Wine was created from the beginning to make men joyful, and not to make them drunk. 36 Wine drunken with moderation is the joy of the soul and the heart. 37 Sober drinking is health to soul and body. 38 Wine drunken with excess raiseth quarrels, and wrath, and many ruins. 39 Wine drunken with excess is bitterness of the soul. 40 The heat of drunkenness is the stumbling block of the fool, lessening strength, and causing wounds. 41 Rebuke not thy neighbor in a banquet of wine, and despise him not in his mirth. 42 Speak not to him words of reproach, and press him not in demanding again. Dash. 6 Where there is no hearing, pour not out words, and be not lifted up out of season with thy wisdom. 7 A concert of music in a banquet of wine is as a carbuncle set in gold. 12 In many things be as if thou wert ignorant, and hear in silence and with all seeking. 13 In the company of great men take not upon thee, and when the ancients are present, speak not much. 25 Go not in the way of ruin, and thou shalt not stumble against the stones, trust not thyself to a rugged way, lest thou set a stumbling block to thy soul. 26 And beware of thy own children, and take heed of them of thy household. Dash. No evils shall happen to him that feareth the Lord, but in temptation God will keep him, and Deliver him from evils. For he that cleareth up a question, shall prepare what to say, and so having prayed he shall be heard, and shall keep discipline, and then he shall answer. 6. A friend that is a mocker, is like a stallion. Horse, he neigheth under every one that sitteth upon him. 7. Why doth one day excel another, and one light another, and 1 year another year, when all come of the sun? 8. By the knowledge of the Lord they were distinguished, the sun being made, and keeping his commandment. 9. And he ordered the seasons, and holidays of them, and in them they celebrated festivals at an hour. 10. Some of them God made high and great days, and some of them he put in the number of ordinary days. And all men are from the ground, and out of the earth, from whence Adam was created. 11. With much knowledge the Lord hath divided them and diversified their ways. 12. Some of them hath he blessed, and exalted, and some of them hath he sanctified, and set near himself, and some of them hath he cursed and brought low, and turned them from their station. 31. If thou have a faithful servant, let him be to thee as thy own soul, treat him as a brother, because in the blood of thy soul thou hast gotten him. 32. If thou hurt him unjustly, he will run away. 33. And if he rise up and depart, thou knowest not whom to ask, and in what way to seek him. Dash. The hopes of a man that is void of understanding are vain and deceitful, and dreams lift up fools. 2. The man that giveth heed to lying visions is like to him that catcheth at a shadow, and followeth after the wind. 4. What can be made clean by the unclean? And what truth can come from that which is false? 9. What doth he know, that hath not been tried? A man that hath much experience, shall think of many things, and he that hath learned many things, shall shew forth understanding. 10. He that hath no experience, knoweth little, and he that hath been experienced in many things, multiplieth prudence. 11. He that hath not been tried, what manner of things doth he know? He that hath been surprised, shall abound with subtlety. 29. When one prayeth, and another curseth, whose voice will God hear? 30. He that washeth himself after touching the dead, if he touch it him again, what doth his washing avail? Dash. The wise man will seek out the wisdom of all the ancients, and will be occupied in the prophets. 2. He will keep the sayings of renowned men, and will enter withal into the subtleties of parables. 3. He will search out the hidden meanings of proverbs, and will be conversant in the secrets of parables. 4. He shall serve among great men, and appear before the governor. 5. He shall pass into strange countries, for he shall try good and evil among men. 6. He will give his heart to resort early to the Lord that made him, and he will pray in the sight of the Most High. 7. He will open his mouth in prayer, and will make supplication for his sins. 8. For if it shall please the great Lord, he will fill him with the spirit of understanding. 9. And he will pour forth the words of his wisdom as showers, and in his prayer he will confess to the Lord. 10. And he shall direct his counsel, and his knowledge, and in his secrets shall he meditate. 11. He shall shew forth the discipline he hath learned, and shall glory in the law of the covenant of the Lord. 31. The principal things necessary for the life of men, are water, fire, and iron, salt, milk, and bread of flour, and honey, and the cluster of the grape, and oil, and clothing. Dash. 9. Moreover, death, and bloodshed, strife, and sword, oppressions, famine, and affliction, and scourges. 10. All these things are created for the wicked, and for their sakes came the flood. 11. All things that are of the earth, shall return to the earth again, and all waters shall return to the sea. 12. All bribery, and injustice shall be blotted out, and fidelity shall stand forever. 13. The riches of the unjust shall be dried up like a river, and shall pass away with a noise like a great thunder in rain. 14. While he openeth his hands he shall rejoice, but transgressors shall pine away in the end. 15. The offspring of the ungodly shall not bring forth many branches, and make a noise as unclean roots upon the top of a rock. 16. The wheat growing over every water, and at the bank of the river, shall be pulled up before all grass. 17. Grace is like a paradise in blessings, and mercy remaineth forever. 18. The life of a laborer that is content with what he hath, shall be sweet, and in it thou shalt find a treasure. 19. Children, and the building of a city shall establish a name, but a blameless wife shall be counted above them both. 20 Wine and music rejoice the heart, but the love of wisdom is above them both. 21 The flute and the psaltery make a sweet melody, but a pleasant tongue is above them both. 23 A friend and companion meeting together in season, but above them both is a wife with her husband. 24 Brethren are a help in the time of trouble, but mercy shall deliver more than they. 25 Gold and silver make the feet stand sure, but wise counsel is above them both. 26 Riches and strength lift up the heart, but above these is the fear of the Lord. 29 My son, in thy lifetime be not indigent, for it is better to die than to want. 30 The life of him that looketh toward another man's table is not to be counted a life, for he feedeth his soul with another man's meat. 31 But a man, well instructed and taught, will look to himself. 32 Begging will be sweet in the mouth of the unwise, but in his belly there shall burn a fire. 13 All things that are of the earth, shall return into the earth, so the ungodly shall from malediction to destruction. 17 My children, keep discipline in peace, for wisdom that is hid, and a treasure that is not seen, what profit is there in them both? 18 Better is the man that hideth his folly, than the man that hideth his wisdom. 27 Gaze not upon another man's wife, and be not inquisitive after his handmaid, and approach not her bed. 28 Be ashamed of upbraiding speeches before friends, and after thou hast given, upbraid not. Repeat not the word which thou hast heard, and disclose not the thing that is secret, so shalt thou be truly without confusion, and shalt find favor before all men. Be not ashamed of any of these things, and accept no person to sin thereby. I recommend read chapter 44 to chapter 50 of the book of Ecclesiasticus, because it's like a resume of the Bible until this point. 5 Except David, and Ezekias, and Josias, all committed sin. 29 Jesus the son of Sirach, of Jerusalem, hath written in this book the doctrine of wisdom and instruction, who renewed wisdom from his heart. 30 Blessed is he that is conversant in these good things, and he that layeth them up in his heart, shall be wise always. 31 For if he do them, he shall be strong to do all things, because the light of God guideth his steps. 22 I found much wisdom in myself, and profited much therein. 23 To him that giveth me wisdom, will I give glory. 24 For I have determined to follow her, I have had a zeal for good, and shall not be confounded. 25 My soul hath wrestled for her, and in doing it I have been confirmed. 26 I stretched forth my hands on high, and I bewailed my ignorance of her. 27 I directed my soul to her, and in knowledge I found her. 28 I possessed my heart with her from the beginning, therefore I shall not be forsaken. 29 My entrails were troubled in seeking her, therefore shall I possess a good possession. 30 The Lord hath given me a tongue for my reward, and with it I will praise him. 31 Draw near to me, ye unlearned, and gather yourselves together into the hours of discipline. 32 Why are ye slow, and what do you say of these things? Your souls are exceeding thirsty. 33 I have opened my mouth, and have spoken. Buy her for yourselves without silver. 34 And submit your neck to the yoke, and let your soul receive discipline, for she is near at hand to be found. 35 Behold with your eyes how I have labored a little, and have found much rest to myself. 36 Receive ye discipline as a great sum of money, and possess abundance of gold by her. 37 Let your soul rejoice in his mercy, and you shall not be confounded in his praise. 38 Work your work before the time, and he will give you your reward in his time. Prophecy of Isaiah. Chapter 1 The vision of Isaiah the son of Amos, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the days of Ozias, Jotham, Achaz, and Ezekias, kings of Judah. 16 Wash yourselves, be clean, take away the evil of your devices from my eyes, cease to do perversely. 17 Learn to do well, seek judgment, relieve the oppressed, judge for the fatherless, defend the widow. 18 And then come, and accuse me, saith the Lord, if your sins be as scarlet, they shall be made as white as snow, and if they be red as crimson, they shall be white as wool. 4 And he shall judge the Gentiles, and rebuke many people, and they shall turn their swords into plowshares, and their spears into sickles. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they be exercised any more to war. 10 Say to the just man that it is well, for he shall eat the fruit of his doings. 11 Woe to the wicked unto evil, for the reward of his hands shall be given him. 11 Woe to you that rise up early in the morning to follow drunkenness, and to drink in the evening, to be inflamed with wine. 20 Woe to you that call evil good, and good evil, that put darkness for light, and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet, and sweet for bitter. 21 Woe to you that are wise in your own eyes, and prudent in your own conceits. 22 Woe to you that are mighty to drink wine, and stout men at drunkenness. 23 That justify the wicked for gifts, and take away the justice of the just from him. 13 And he said, Hear ye therefore, O house of David, is it a small thing for you to be grievous to men, that you are grievous to my God also? 14 Therefore the Lord himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive, and bear a son, and his name shall be called Emmanuel. 15 He shall eat butter and honey, that he may know to refuse the evil, and to choose the good. 16 For before the child know to refuse the evil, and to choose the good, the land which thou abhorrest shall be forsaken of the face of her two kings. 17 The Lord shall bring upon thee, and upon thy people, and upon the house of thy father, days that have not come since the time of the separation of Ephraim from Judah with the king of the Assyrians. 18 And it shall come to pass in that day, that the Lord shall hiss for the fly, that is in the uttermost parts of the rivers of Egypt, and for the bee that is in the land of Assyria. 19 And they shall come, and shall all of them rest in the torrents of the valleys, and in the holes of the rocks, and upon all places set with shrubs, and in all hollow places. 2 The people that walked in darkness, have seen a great light, to them that dwelt in the region of the shadow of death, light is risen. 6 For a child is born to us, and a son is given to us, and the government is upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, God the Mighty, the Father of the world to come, the Prince of Peace. 7 His empire shall be multiplied, and there shall be no end of peace. He shall sit upon the throne of David, and upon his kingdom, to establish it and strengthen it with judgment and with justice, from henceforth and forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this. 14 And the Lord shall destroy out of Israel the head and the tail, him that bendeth down, and him that holdeth back, in one day. 15 The aged and honorable, he is the head, and the prophet that hate lies, he is the tail. 16 And they that call this people blessed shall cause them to err, and they that are called blessed shall be thrown down headlong. 19 By the wrath of the Lord of hosts the land is troubled, and the people shall be as fuel for the fire, no man shall spare his brother. 20 And he shall turn to the right hand, and shall be hungry, and shall eat on the left hand, and shall not be filled. Every one shall eat the flesh of his own arm, Manasseh's Ephraim, and Ephraim Manasseh's, and they together shall be against Judah. 21 After all these things his indignation is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. Woe to them that make wicked laws, and when they write injustice. 2 To oppress the poor in judgment, and do violence to the cause of the humble of my people, that widows might be their prey, and that they might rob the fatherless. 13 For he hath said, By the strength of my own hand I have done it, and by my own wisdom I have understood, and I have removed the bounds of the people, and have taken the spoils of the princes, and as a mighty man hath pulled down them that sat on high. 14 And my hand hath found the strength of the people as a nest, and as eggs are gathered that are left, so have I gathered all the earth, and there was none that moved the wing, or opened the mouth, or made the least noise. 2 And the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom, and of understanding, the Spirit of counsel, and of fortitude, the Spirit of knowledge, and of godliness. 3 And he shall be filled with the Spirit of the fear of the Lord. He shall not judge according to the sight of the eyes, nor reprove according to the hearing of the ears. 4 But he shall judge the poor with justice, and shall reprove with equity the meek of the earth. And he shall strike the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips he shall slay the wicked. 5 And justice shall be the girdle of his loins, and faith the girdle of his reins. The burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord will ascend upon a swift cloud, and will enter into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst thereof. 2 And I will set the Egyptians to fight against the Egyptians, and they shall fight brother against brother, and friend against friend, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. 3 And the spirit of Egypt shall be broken in the bowels thereof, and I will cast down their counsel, and they shall consult their idols, and their diviners, and their wizards, and soothsayers. 4 And I will deliver Egypt into the hand of cruel masters, and a strong king shall rule over them, saith the Lord the God of hosts. 5 And the water of the sea shall be dried up, and the river shall be wasted and dry. 6 For thus hath the Lord said to me, Go, and set a watchman, and whatsoever he shall see, let him tell. Chapter 24. Behold, the Lord shall lay waste the earth, and shall strip it, and shall afflict the face thereof, and scatter abroad the inhabitants thereof. 2 And it shall be as with the people, so with the priest, and as with the servant, so with his master, as with the handmaid, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with him that calleth for his money, so with him that oweth. 3 With desolation shall the earth be laid waste, and it shall be utterly spoiled, for the Lord hath spoken this word. 4 The earth mourned, and faded away, and is weakened, the world faded away, the height of the people of the earth is weakened. 5 And the earth is infected by the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws. They have changed the ordinance, they have broken the everlasting covenant. 6 Therefore shall a curse devour the earth, and the inhabitants thereof shall sin, and therefore they that dwell therein shall be mad, and few men shall be left. 11 There shall be a crying for wine in the streets, all mirth is forsaken, the joy of the earth is gone away. 19 With breaking shall the earth be broken, with crushing shall the earth be crushed, with trembling shall the earth be moved. 20 With shaking shall the earth be shaken as a drunken man, and shall be removed as the tent of one night, and the iniquity thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall, and not rise again. 21 And it shall come to pass, that in that day the Lord shall visit upon the host of heaven on high, and upon the kings of the earth, on the earth. 22 And they shall be gathered together as in the gathering of one bundle into the pit, and they shall be shut up there in prison, and after many days they shall be visited. 23 And the moon shall blush, and the sun shall be ashamed, when the Lord of hosts shall reign in Mount Zion, and in Jerusalem, and shall be glorified in the sight of his ancients. 9 Be astonished, and wonder, waver, and stagger, be drunk, and not with wine, stagger, and not with drunkenness. 2 But he that is the wise one hath brought evil, and hath not removed his words, and he will rise up against the house of the wicked, and against the aid of them that work iniquity. Behold, a king shall reign in justice, and princes shall rule in judgment. 5 The fool shall no more be called prince, neither shall the deceitful be called great. 6 For the fool will speak foolish things, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, and speak to the Lord deceitfully, and to make empty the soul of the hungry, and take away drink from the thirsty. 7 The vessels of the deceitful are most wicked, for he hath framed devices to destroy the meek with lying words, when the poor man speaketh judgment. 8 But the prince will devise such things as are worthy of a prince, and he shall stand above the rulers. Woe to thee that spoilest, shalt not thou thyself also be spoiled? And thou that despisest, shalt not thyself also be despised? When thou shalt have made an end of spoiling, thou shalt be spoiled, when being wearied thou shalt cease to despise, thou shalt be despised. 16 Search ye diligently in the book of the Lord, and read, not one of them was wanting, one hath not sought for the other, for that which proceedeth out of my mouth, he hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. 17 And he hath cast the lot for them, and his hand hath divided it to them by line, they shall possess it forever, from generation to generation. They shall dwell therein. 8 And a path and a way shall be there, and it shall be called the holy way, the unclean shall not pass over it, and this shall be unto you a straightway, so that fools shall not err therein. 10 And the redeemed of the Lord shall return, and shall come into Zion with praise, and everlasting joy shall be upon their heads, they shall obtain joy and gladness, and sorrow and mourning shall flee away. 28 Knowest thou not, or hast thou not heard? The Lord is the everlasting God, who hath created the ends of the earth, he shall not faint, nor labor, neither is there any searching out of his wisdom. 29 It is he that giveth strength to the weary, and increaseth force and might to them that are not. 30 You shall faint, and labor, and young men shall fall by infirmity. 31 But they that hope in the Lord shall renew their strength, they shall take wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, they shall walk and not faint. 6 Every one shall help his neighbor, and shall say to his brother, Be of good courage. 4 Since thou becamest honorable in my eyes, thou art glorious, I have loved thee, and I will give men for thee, and people for thy life. 5 Fear not, for I am with thee, I will bring thy seed from the east, and gather thee from the west. 6 I will say to the north, Give up, and to the south, Keep not back, bring my sons from afar, and my daughters from the ends of the earth. 7 And every one that calleth upon my name, I have created him for my glory, I have formed him, and made him. 8 Bring forth the people that are blind, and have eyes, that are deaf, and have ears. 4 For I knew that thou art stubborn, and thy neck is as an iron sinew, and thy forehead as brass. 5 I foretold thee of old, before they came to pass I told thee, lest thou shouldst say, My idols have done these things, and my graven and molten things have commanded them. 6 See now all the things which thou hast heard, but have you declared them? I have shown thee new things from that time, and things are kept which thou knowest not. 7 They are created now, and not of old, and before the day, when thou heardest them not, lest thou shouldst say, Behold I knew them. 8 Thou hast neither heard, nor known, neither was thy ear opened of old. For I know that transgressing thou wilt transgress, and I have called thee a transgressor from the womb. 22 There is no peace to the wicked, saith the Lord. Give ear, ye islands, and hearken, ye people from afar. The Lord hath called me from the womb. From the bowels of my mother he hath been mindful of my name. 2 And he hath made my mouth like a sharp sword, in the shadow of his hand he hath protected me, and hath made me as a chosen arrow. In his quiver he hath hidden me. 3 And he said to me, Thou art my servant Israel, for in thee will I glory. 4 And I said, I have labored in vain, I have spent my strength without cause and in vain. Therefore my judgment is with the Lord, and my work with my God. 5 And now saith the Lord, that formed me from the womb to be his servant, that I may bring back Jacob unto him, and Israel will not be gathered together, and I am glorified in the eyes of the Lord, and my God is made my strength. 6 And he said, It is a small thing that thou shouldst be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob, and to convert the dregs of Israel. Behold, I have given thee to be the light of the Gentiles, that thou mayst be my salvation even to the farthest part of the earth. 19 There are two things that have happened to thee, who shall be sorry for thee: desolation, and destruction, and the famine, and the sword. Who shall comfort thee? 3 For thus saith the Lord, you were sold gratis, and you shall be redeemed, without money. 2 Why do you spend money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which doth not satisfy you? Hearken diligently to me, and eat that which is good, and your soul shall be delighted in fatness. 8 For my thoughts are not your thoughts, nor your ways my ways, saith the Lord. 9 For as the heavens are exalted above the earth, so are my ways exalted above your ways, and my thoughts above your thoughts. 10 His watchmen are all blind, they are all ignorant, dumb dogs not able to bark, seeing vain things, sleeping and loving dreams. 16 For I will not contend forever, neither will I be angry unto the end, because the Spirit shall go forth from my face, and breathings I will make. 17 For the iniquity of his covetousness I was angry, and I struck him, I hid my face from thee, and was angry, and he went away wandering in his own heart. 18 I saw his ways, and I healed him, and brought him back, and restored comforts to him, and to them that mourn for him. 19 I created the fruit of the lips, peace, peace. To him that is far off, and to him that is near. Said the Lord, and I healed him. 20 But the wicked are like the raging sea, which cannot rest, and the waves thereof cast up dirt and mire. 21 There is no peace to the wicked, saith the Lord God. Behold, the hand of the Lord is not shortened, that it cannot save, neither is his ear heavy that it cannot hear. 2 But your iniquities have divided between you and your God, and your sins have hid his face from you that he should not hear. 3 For your hands are defiled with blood, and your fingers with iniquity, your lips have spoken lies, and your tongue uttereth iniquity. 4 There is none that calleth upon justice, neither is there any one that judgeth truly, but they trust in a mere nothing, and speak vanities, they have conceived labor, and brought forth iniquity. 5 They have broken the eggs of asps, and have woven the webs of spiders, he that shall eat of their eggs shall die, and that which is brought out shall be hatched into a basilisk. 6 Their webs shall not be for clothing, neither shall they cover themselves with their works. Their works are unprofitable works, and the work of iniquity is in their hands. 7 Their feet run to evil, and make haste to shed innocent blood, their thoughts are unprofitable thoughts, wasting and destruction are in their ways. 8 They have not known the way of peace, and there is no judgment in their steps, their paths are become crooked to them, every one that treadeth in them knoweth no peace. 9 Therefore is judgment far from us, and justice shall not overtake us. We looked for light, and behold darkness, brightness, and we have walked in the dark. 11 And thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night, that the strength of the Gentiles may be brought to thee, and their kings may be brought. 12 For the nation and the kingdom that will not serve thee, shall perish, and the Gentiles shall be wasted with desolation. 6 Upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, I have appointed watchmen all the day, and all the night. They shall never hold their peace. You that are mindful of the Lord, hold not your peace. 5 I looked about, and there was none to help. I sought, and there was none to give aid, and my own arm hath saved for me, and my indignation itself hath helped me. 6 And we are all become as one unclean, and all our justices as the rag of a menstruous woman, and we have all fallen as a leaf, and our iniquities, like the wind, have taken us away. 7 There is none that calleth upon thy name, that riseth up, and taketh hold of thee, thou hast hid thy face from us, and hast crushed us in the hand of our iniquity. 8 And now, O Lord, thou art our Father, and we are clay, and thou art our Maker, and we all are the works of thy hands. 9 Be not very angry, O Lord, and remember no longer our iniquity, behold, see we are all thy people. 10 The city of thy sanctuary is become a desert, Zion is made a desert, Jerusalem is desolate. 11 The house of our holiness, and of our glory, where our fathers praised thee, is burnt with fire, and all our lovely things are turned into ruins. 12 Wilt thou refrain thyself, O Lord, upon these things, wilt thou hold thy peace, and afflict us vehemently? Chapter 65 They have sought me that before asked not for me, they have found me that sought me not. I said, behold me, to a nation that did not call upon my name. 2 I have spread forth my hands all the day to an unbelieving people, who walk in a way that is not good after their own thoughts. 3 A people that continually provoke me to anger before my face, that immolate in gardens, and sacrifice upon bricks. 4 That dwell in sepulchres, and sleep in the temple of idols, that eat swine's flesh, and profane broth is in their vessels. 5 That say, depart from me, come not near me, because thou art unclean, these shall be smoke in my anger, a fire burning all the day. 6 Behold, it is written before me, I will not be silent, but I will render and repay into their bosom. 7 Your iniquities, and the iniquities of your fathers together, saith the Lord, who have sacrificed upon the mountains, and have reproached me upon the hills, and I will measure back their first work in their bosom. 8 Thus saith the Lord, as if a grain be found in a cluster, and it be said, destroy it not, because it is a blessing, so will I do for the sake of my servants, that I may not destroy the whole 9 And I will bring forth a seed out of Jacob, and out of Judah a possessor of my mountains. And my elect shall inherit it, and my servants shall dwell there. 10 And the plains shall be turned to folds of flocks, and the valley of Acre into a place for the herds to lie down in, for my people that have sought me. 11 And you, that have forsaken the Lord, that have forgotten my holy mount, that set a table for fortune, and offer libations upon it. 12 I will number you in the sword, and you shall all fall by slaughter, because I called and you did not answer, I spoke, and you did not hear, and you did evil in my eyes, and you have chosen the things that displease me. 13 Therefore thus saith the Lord God, Behold, my servants shall eat, and you shall be hungry. Behold my servants shall drink, and you shall be thirsty. 14 Behold my servants shall rejoice, and you shall be confounded, behold my servants shall praise for joyfulness of heart, and you shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for grief of spirit. 15 And you shall leave your name for an execration to my elect, and the Lord God shall slay thee, and call his servants by another name. 16 In which he that is blessed upon the earth shall be blessed in God, Amen, and he that sweareth in the earth, shall swear by God, Amen. Because the former distresses are forgotten, and because they are hid from my eyes. 17 For behold I create new heavens, and a new earth, and the former things shall not be in remembrance, and they shall not come upon the heart. 18 But you shall be glad and rejoice forever in these things, which I create, for behold I create Jerusalem a rejoicing, and the people thereof joy. 19 And I will rejoice in Jerusalem, and joy in my people, and the voice of weeping shall no more be heard in her, nor the voice of crying. 20 There shall no more be an infant of days there, nor an old man that shall not fill up his days, for the child shall die 100 years old. And the sinner being 100 years old shall be accursed. 21 And they shall build houses, and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards, and eat the fruits of them. 22 They shall not build, and another inhabit. They shall not plant, and another eat, for as the days of a tree, so shall be the days of my people. And the works of their hands shall be of long continuance. 23 My elect shall not labor in vain, nor bring forth in trouble, for they are the seed of the blessed of the Lord, and their posterity with them. 24 And it shall come to pass, that before they call, I will hear, as they are yet speaking, I will hear. 25 The wolf and the lamb shall feed together. The lion and the ox shall eat straw, and dust shall be the serpent's food, they shall not hurt nor kill. In all my holy mountain, saith the Lord. Chapter 66 Thus saith the Lord, Heaven is my throne, and the earth my footstool. What is this house that you will build to me? And what is this place of my rest? To my hand made all these things, and all these things were made, saith the Lord. But to whom shall I have respect, but to him that is poor and little, and of a contrite spirit, and that trembleth at my words? 3 He that sacrificeth an ox, is as if he slew a man. He that killeth a sheep in sacrifice, as if he should brain a dog. He that offereth an oblation, as if he should offer swine's blood. He that remembereth incense, as if he should bless an idol. All these things have they chosen in their ways, and their soul is delighted in their abominations. For wherefore I also will choose their mockeries, and will bring upon them the things they feared. Because I called, and there was none that would answer, I have spoken, and they heard not, and they have done evil in my eyes, and have chosen the things that displease me. 5 Hear the word of the Lord, you that tremble at his word, your brethren that hate you, and cast you out for my name's sake, have said, Let the Lord be glorified, and we shall see in your joy, but they shall be confounded. 6 A voice of the people from the city, a voice from the temple, the voice of the Lord that rendereth recompense to his enemies. 7 Before she was in labor, she brought forth. Before her time came to be delivered, she brought forth a man-child. 8 Who hath ever heard such a thing? And who hath seen the like to this? Shall the earth bring forth in one day? Or shall a nation be brought forth at once, because Zion hath been in labor, and hath brought forth her children? 9 Shall not I that make others to bring forth children, myself bring forth, saith the Lord? Shall I, that give generation to others, be barren, saith the Lord thy God. 10 Rejoice with Jerusalem, and be glad with her, all you that love her, rejoice for joy with her, all you that mourn for her. 11 That you may suck, and be filled with the breasts of her consolations, that you may milk out, and flow with delights, from the abundance of her glory. 12 For thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will bring upon her as it were a river of peace, and as an overflowing torrent the glory of the Gentiles, which you shall suck, you shall be carried at the breasts, and upon the knees they shall caress you. 13 As one whom the mother cares saith, so will I comfort you, and you shall be comforted in Jerusalem. 14 You shall see and your heart shall rejoice, and your bones shall flourish like an herb, and the hand of the Lord shall be known to his servants, and he shall be angry with his enemies. 15 For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and his chariots are like a whirlwind, to render his wrath in indignation, and his rebuke with flames of fire. 16 For the Lord shall judge by fire, and by his sword unto all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. 17 They that were sanctified, thought themselves clean in the gardens behind the gate. Within, they that did eat swine's flesh, and the abomination, and the mouse, they shall be consumed together, saith the Lord. 18 But I know their works, and their thoughts. I come that I may gather them together with all nations and tongues, and they shall come and shall see my glory. 19 And I will set a sign among them, and I will send of them that shall be saved, to the Gentiles, into the sea, into Africa and Lydia them that draw the bow, into Italy, and Greece, to the islands afar off, to them that have not heard of me, and have not seen my glory. And they shall declare my glory to the Gentiles. 20 And they shall bring all your brethren out of all nations for a gift to the Lord, upon horses, and in chariots, and in litters, and on mules, and in coaches, to my holy mountain Jerusalem, saith the Lord, as if the children of Israel should bring an offering in a clean vessel into the house of the Lord. 21 And I will take of them to be priests, and Levites, saith the Lord. 22 For as the new heavens, and the new earth, which I will make to stand before me, saith the Lord, so shall your seed stand, and your name. 23 And there shall be month after month, and Sabbath after Sabbath, and all flesh shall come to adore before my face, saith the Lord. 24 And they shall go out, and see the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me. Their worm shall not die, and their fire shall not be quenched, and they shall be a loathsome sight to all flesh.